Hi, hello, it's me, Julian Greystoke. We're in my darkened office, and I'm not wearing makeup, so you know what that means.
I gotta sing the Doom song now!
We are here to tally the votes. We're gonna find out what our next read-along is going to be. I've had like a couple of weeks with no read-along involved in it, which is weird, and I have so much free time. You all voted both on the channel and on my Patreon, so we're gonna count the votes. Y'all remember that patron votes count for 2, so we're gonna count the normal votes first, and then we're gonna go over to Patreon and count my patron votes. If you recall, the books that we could choose from were From Blood and Ash, We All Fall Down, Guild, and Zodiac Academy. And honestly, I don't even have any guesses as to which one is gonna win because I feel like there are a lot of votes for all of them, so I've got my notebook ready to tally all of these votes, and let's find out which one won. Which one are you hoping for? I don't know. I thought I knew which one I was hoping for, and now maybe I'm not so sure, but we are going to tally some votes. Let's go. Got my laptop over here. Let's tally. Okay, that took a long time, but I have tabulated all the votes from YouTube, and now we're gonna go on over to my Patreon and check out my patrons' votes, but it is really close. It is so close right now. I'm actually shooketh how close it is between 2 books. And then there's one that's kind of trailing behind and one that never stood a chance, but we'll reveal all of that after we've counted the patrons' votes. Let's go over to Patreon. The patrons really could sway this one. Like, I don't know which way they're gonna lean, but it's all in their hands at this point because it is so close. It's worth it to become a patron, I feel like, to have your vote count for 2. Let's go. Okay, this is so fun and so surprising because like my patrons went in a totally different direction from YouTube, and like they brought back a strong contender that was losing on the YouTube front. So let me just count all of our votes here and I'll tell you what everybody got. All right, let's go in order from last to first. In last place, unfortunately, this one just wasn't a favorite in either location. That is Guild with only 20 votes. I was a little bit curious about Guild, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I really want to read this one, so I'm not too torn up that it didn't win. Next, we have We All Fall Down with 27 votes. This one was interesting because like I'd go for a while without seeing any votes for it, and then a whole bunch of people would all vote for it in a row. So that was really interesting how that one, like the trends were. I'd be like, oh, We All Fall Down is falling into the background, but oh, then there's a bunch of people. And honestly, We All Fall Down was tied for first place until we went over to my Patreon, where my patrons had other ideas, and they brought the 3rd place winner From Blood and Ash up to 32 points. It was not even close to touching We All Fall Down until the patrons got it, and the patrons were like, we really want From Blood and Ash, and I'm definitely gonna have to try to remember to put this on the next options. But as you have surmised, it could not defeat the absolute landslide that was Zodiac Academy with 43 votes. Now, like I said, back on YouTube, We All Fall Down and Zodiac Academy were tied, but my patrons brought that Blood and Ash score like way up. Unfortunately, a few of them did vote for Zodiac Academy, so we couldn't save it. We couldn't save this. But that means I am going to be forced to read Zodiac Academy, which was not the one I was hoping to read, I'll be honest. I was hoping to read From Blood and Ash. This one, as far as I know, unless it's been picked up, is self-published. So it might be in a slightly crunchier state. As far as like spelling and grammatical errors, I just hope it's not too nonsensical that I don't even have enough to say. But we are gonna go and see if I can get a copy of this thing. All right, Half Price Books does have it. How cheap can I get it? $10, let's go, $10. I know I could probably get it cheaper on Amazon, but I like to support half-priced books. And if I thought this book had any shred of possibility of being something that I like, I would actually buy it at full price. But knowing that I'm probably gonna find it to be garbage, I'm gonna buy it used. I'm gonna buy it used. Listen, I'm poor, okay? I am poor. Someday, if I ever have money, I'll go around willy-nilly buying books at full price, but today I am poor. All right, it has been ordered. We are going to read The Zodiac Academy, and hopefully there's something that we can glean from it. Hopefully there are some lessons that we can learn, even if it is not to our taste, we shall say. And I know people really like this book, and it's fine if you like stuff that some people might consider like trashy. It's fine. You are allowed to like whatever you like. And I'm sure there are plenty of books that I really like that other people think are garbage, so. But also, before we go, let's talk bad book bingo. I just printed this bad boy out. I'm going to try to remember to put it up on my social media. But what is on the bad book bingo this time, everyone? I thought long and hard. And here's this time's bad book bingo. Every time I erase this piece of paper, my white balance turns me yellow. Thanks, camera. I love that for me. Let's wait for the white balance to return. We're waiting, we're waiting. Good, back to the natural paleness of my pasty white skin. All right, first up on our bingo card, we have Why Is It Always the Dumb Bitches, which is actually just my replacement for Too Dumb to Live, but it's become one of my catchphrases now in these books. Number 2 is The Blurb Lied. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Next we have Baffling Magic System. I think it's about time we added that one to the list. Everyone Praises the Main Character, still on there. Awkward Language Choices. This one covers a lot more bases, so we have anachronistic language covered with this. We have weird metaphors and similes covered in one handy bingo square. We still have Minority There to Serve, Straight, White, Able-Bodied, etc. Main Character. We have a Main Character is the Special TM. Main Character suddenly good at a high skill activity. We can't go without that one. Main character behaving badly without fallout. Well, that just happened. This is a new bingo square for extreme coincidences, where you're just like, well, it's a good thing that random thing that totally had no basis for happening happened so that the plot could continue. We have the ever popular Do You Think Your Reader is Dumb? Horrifying Implications is finally on the bingo card. We get some horrifying implications here. Horny is still on the bingo card. Gotta have that one. That's a classic. Messy world building or no world building in sight. We got a new one there. Terrible Plans making a comeback. And we also have Confusing Plot or no plot in sight. So we're covering all our bases. We also have the return of I Would Die For You, Person I Just Met, which is a form of insta-love where people don't just like fall for each other. They are willing and going to sacrifice their lives for each other within a week. We have the classic Unhinged Bullies. Everybody loves an unhinged bully. Paper-thin characters. I've been messing around with this one, kind of like cliched characters or all characters have the same voice. This one kind of covers both of those bases. Awkward sex scene. I have a feeling we might be getting some of that. Surprise baddie reveal. After the last couple of books we read, I feel like we needed this. We had it in The Cyborg Tinkerer. We kind of had it in A Night in Its Moon, even though it wasn't really a surprise, because, you know, it was pretty obvious. But we also, and then we had it in Lightlark as well, so we gotta have surprise baddie reveal. Damaging SA tropes, we know what that is. Injuries don't matter. This is another pet peeve of mine where the character will get hurt and then it is either immediately healed by a handy magical person that they have nearby, or they just never mention it again and it never bothers them. And finally, we have Info Dump, that old chestnut. So that is the bingo card. We'll go over it again, I'm sure, when we start this book, but that's a little while away because I have to get the book and then I have to read. I usually try to read to about halfway, usually a little before I start posting the videos. So it's gonna be a little bit, but it's happening. The book is already ordered, so we will get on it as soon as possible. And in the meantime, enjoy all of the fun stuff that's already here on my channel. Plus, I'm doing a lot of fun stuff behind the scenes. I'm really trying to get serious about being a full-time artist, so I'm trying to bankroll my lavish lifestyle, as you all know. I lead such a lavish life. And to do that, I need to make money at the things that I'm good at. So I am offering editing services. There's other things I'm thinking of adding. So keep an eye on my Ko-fi, keep an eye on my Patreon, keep an eye on me because I will probably be adding a Fiverr account. soon enough. So like there's really cool stuff in the works. So definitely keep an eye on this channel, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever you need to do, because I'm sure I will announce everything on my community tab as well. So if you love the way that I critique these books and you want me to do that to your book, that can be arranged. I'm actually a lot nicer to the people that I critique. Like, I still give them tough, meaningful critiques, but I'm not as mean to them as I am to these books. Or if you just feel like it, you can just support me on my Ko-fi or on my Patreon. And of course, like I said, if you want to be primed and ready for the next read along, patron votes do count for 2, and patron votes, wow, they took this in fun new directions. You can also check out my books, which are not on their shelf right now, but they're available now on Amazon, so go check them out. And I will see all of you next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!